is why I'm going to say this with love. This just makes me happy. I love to declutter and organize, but I can tell you, for me to be happy about this bucket, I've come a long way. I'm expressing right now that I can say everything in this bucket is not expired, and it's things that I actively use on a daily basis. And the extra things that are in here are things that I will use. But I'm also going to say though, when you have a backstock bucket, put it where you can find it, someplace that you like, hey, I have a backstock bucket, and only have it in the amount of space that you're going to want to utilize. So, for example, like I know that whatever I fit in here are things that I'm going to use, and it's not going to take up too much space, and it's a place that I know where it is, but it's also a place it's not completely it's out of sight, but it's not out of mind. Okay. So these are small, and I just don't want them to get lost in this backstock bucket. So when I see this, I'm like, okay, when I started this, which has been, this has been quite some time that I've used this process, and I'm going to go through it because I haven't gone through it in a while, just like I said, just to make sure there's nothing that wasn't expired that now is expired. I have my extra watch band in this container with the extra little parts for it. It also, let me look here. Yeah, that's all that's in there is like the extra watch parts. And I love my watch. And it's kind of like one of those things. I was not a watch person, but then my husband and my son really enjoyed their watches, and I wanted one too. And so my husband got it for me for a present. So you're awesome. I love you. Okay. Yeah, look at this. So, what I'm excited to express, ooh, there's a kitty and a shed ball there. Okay. So when I look into this, you may say, oh my gosh, but you know what? I don't have a lot of products that I have. Like, I don't have drawers of makeup or bath products or things like that. Like, these are things I actively use. I have 2 shades of eyeshadow that I use. This shade and this shade. Both of them are not quite at pan. And so they're not going bad here. So there's a 24-month, on this, and I know I bought this box when I, grabbed my last one. And I say grabbed as in like I used it and I needed an extra one just because I just don't like, this is at a specialty store, and I'm not going to be able just to pick it up. And so I have it, I use it. So the reason that one is not in a box is, that, I don't know why it's not in its box. It's not used. Well, maybe it looks like, you know what, I remember, I took this one when I went traveling, but like I said, this one is almost, it's at pan, but it's not fully at pan, so when I probably will be pulling this out in about 2 months, so, yeah, okay, if that makes any sense. These are my signature lipstick. Love this shade. I have one other shade that's more of a more of a gloss, and that's this one. And it's, let's see, Riri. And I love this too, but like I said, and they both go together. This is Skip the Gym by Almay, and I love these. Like I said, I use it completely down, and I use it every day, and when it's gone I just come to my Backstock and grab it. That's why there's two there. It's an everyday product. Let's see. Like I said, I have two eyeshadows, but the other thing that I use every single day is eyeliner, and I have multiple of the same shades. And like I said, I will put one of these in my purse, and I have one of these in, if I'm going out or whatever, but then I have, one that stays in my, my makeup here. And you know what, I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, there's like a bunch of them, but there was a time that they were on sale, not in the far past, and I use these every single day, with my makeup look, and it's, what makes I feel spicy and happy wearing it. So I'm gonna keep those shades in color. Let's see. We have sunscreen. And this is actually where all of the sunscreen is at in the house. I kept it here because it's in my back stock bucket, because I live in the north area, and we have sun but once a season pretty much. And when summer comes out, I will put these in the bathroom for everyone to use. But we went on a Florida trip for about a month, and this was what was left. And I'm checking the dates. It expires in August of 2025. And like I said, this was what was left from last year's, or maybe even beginning of this year, I'm not sure, from our trip. But this one is about to expire, but I will be able to use all of this before it expires at the end of the season. So this is fine. Okay. You know what? These should not be in here. I have a perfume Backstock bucket in my closet, and I think the reason these are in here is because I have this particular scent at my beauty altar, which maybe I will share with you one day. And this is probably here because this is nestled in my bookshelf near my beauty altar, and so this fragrance, that's why it's there. But you know what, I'm gonna put it with my perfume because I'm not gonna forget that it's with my perfume, and that I have extra. It is such a warm everyday scent. It's not overwhelming. I can layer it with other scents, so that's why I have that many bottles. And because they have this product all the time, but they change the logo often, and I just love this logo, and it makes me happy. So and like I said, it's such an overflow scent. Okay, this one is almost out, but it's in my backflow bucket because I only keep one of these out at a time. So this is the one that I often use in the summer, and this we used this winter, and like I said, it's almost out. So what I'm going to do, because it is taking up so much space, I'm going to pull this, and I'm going to put it in my car, because I know that because there's only like, I don't know, less than a quarter cup in here, I will probably have this gone in a month if I put it in my car. So I'm going to put this in my my car bag right here, because my car bag happens to be in here because I was going through that. And again, that might be something that I also record and post. So we'll see. Okay. So the summer, I'm going to put this back because the current one is on my desk, which is Rain. And this is one that we use in the spring. This is actually, if I were to say like, hey, when I'm done with the rose, I may only keep this scent. I have this in my house cleaning bucket, and I have one back here. So there's one in the front of the house, there's one in the back of the house, and this is just such a lovely scent. This is actually the scent of our laundry detergent as well, and it is just so calming, and my entire family likes it. We used to love basil, but this is like our new favorite family scent. And like I said, I've used this bottle all the way before, and so this is just a backstock, so that's why it's here. But it's here because like it just makes sense for me to keep it in the backstock bucket. Okay. So these are actually the only place that these are here. So they're not necessarily backstock. But I actually, when I move things around in my bathroom, I have a place for this now. And it expires in June, so they're about halfway full, so I need to use these up. This is where like I said before, high quality products do expire faster. Yeah, these are all expiring in June. And like I said, they're the only place that I have these are stored here. So now that I have, and I use these, so this is foot lotion. This is a deeper body lotion when I'm really just wanting this, like that, just delicious, luxurious kind of feel. But it's this one is like pretty full. I did have another one of these, and it's completely gone now. So I just forgot to grab it. And that's what I'm saying is, like, if you have a backstock bucket, go back to it. I didn't ooh, oh my, I didn't replace this though, which is good. It's just, I just didn't grab another one when I was done with it. Whereas these two, I only have this in this location. I used to have another one of these, at my office. I only have one now, and this is for my feet treatment, just to have like an extra soft feet. So like I said, there's a place in my bathroom, I'm gonna put it there. And I will only go to Lush when I have used all of my products. And so I only do like one haul every 6 months or so. So there's these, and then I think I have one thing of lotion left, and it's almost gone. So it's not lotion, I'm sorry, it's body conditioner in the shower. So once that is gone, then I will probably be doing a Lush haul because I love Lush. Yes. If you've been there, you may understand. My extra nose pins are here. Fun thing about my nose, you may see that, and it may bother you. It bothers me sometimes. My nose pins are not aligned on my face. I had another piercing, and it kept getting stuck. And I had gone to the person, he's wonderful, and I had asked him, can you fix this? And he said, well, because when I just didn't want to get it stuck, and the one I had since I was like 13 or 14, and the other one I got like later on in life, and they kind of migrated different. And so and like I said, one kept getting stuck, and he said, well, they're going to be more like cousins than sisters, and the older me would not have been a fan, but the newest layer of myself, I don't really mind them being completely out of alignment. They're not completely, they're just in certain angles you can tell, certain nose pins you can tell, but what I do like is having only one felt not balanced for me, and I love having a little sparkle in my face, so it just is what it is right now. I'm gonna be happy with the cousins versus the twin sisters on my face. Or you know what I mean. So okay. Let's see. Cheeky Botanica, love it. And or however, cheeky maybe, but I call it cheeky. And it's redwood oil, and there's just something mystical about that. I do have 2 of those. Ooh, 3 of these, but this is almost gone. I pour them. I use it a lot, and like I said, it's sometimes I put it in my soap that I make, and so I will use these. I'm not gonna get rid of them. This, I have to smell this. I have to pause to take a smell. This it is my signature perfume blend, and I blend it. I have a bottle that I will refill. So this is the larger bottle of the perfume, and like I said, I just, when my bottle is empty, I put it somewhere in there. It needs to sit for a while. The longer it sits, the better it gets. So this, when I had 2 of these. One is empty, and it's in my empty bottle layer of my pantry. There's a little box with empty bottles. And so again, once this is about halfway gone, I will make a new batch. And I use some of the old with the new to keep it kind of so essentially this perfume has been with by that old, putting the old within the new. This perfume has been with me for quite some time. That way it's kind of followed me along my timeline, and I just really enjoy that. So maybe one day when I make my perfume, I can share that with you also. It's a pretty sacred process for me. Okay, so the last time I did these, I think I had shared with you recently that I got rid of some of my face gems, and I just got rid of the glue, and like I said, I didn't wear these as much, and every once in a while I would put them on my nails, but then the nail glue, when I had nail glue, it was just really stinky, and it would take forever to get these to come off once I did apply them. And like I said, I liked every once in a while putting some crystals on my face. Like I said, I know I'm not going to use this, so I'm going to put this with the donation pile, but I have a person who will, they will use these because of special things that they do more frequently than, okay, so, and, ooh, I knew this was in here. This is another reason I grabbed my Backstock bucket. I just completely emptied this last bottle, so this is actually going to go in my makeup bucket, because my makeup spot, it's not a bucket. I say bucket a lot when they're not actually buckets. Maybe because in my mind I categorize things in buckets and baskets, I'm not sure. But this is my so I have 2 eyeshadow shades, and I know this is technically an eyeshadow, but I use it for a liner. So when I'm wanting to feel just extra, I will use this one, and I'll even use this one with the purple, and it's the purple eyeshadow shade that I wear, and it's a little 80s, 90s, but you know what? My inner child my inner teenager will always love that combination. So, whatever. And then again, white. I use the white a lot for like dots and things. And that was actually my kind of talk through with myself when I got rid of the other sparkles and gems, was that I really like them, but they're time consuming. Whereas if I want to be festive and I can just pop some dots on my face, go into an extra special meditation sit or something, I can do that, and it doesn't take as much time, and I don't have to be finicky and whatever. Yeah. So my white is not at pan though, so I'm just gonna keep this. So I'm gonna just put this back. Okay. We're getting down to the bottom of our bucket. Okay. This is white sage mist. You know what? This is almost empty. I can put this with the one that is inactive. This used to be in another space, and what I probably did is just put it in this bucket because I already had a bottle that I was going through. But now noticing how like empty, I'm going to put this with the peppermint mist, and I'm actually probably going to just put it in the peppermint mist bottle that I'm going to put in my car. So I'll consolidate that right now. Because I could consolidate it in the other active bottle, but it's Florida water, and it's for cleansing space, so it's not going to hurt me to put it with my air spray, and the person who makes this, it just smells so delicious. I used to go to a meditation circle. I go to it online now. I will eventually go again now that it's warm again. But like I said, I was going through some health things, so I couldn't go out and about as much as I wanted to the big gatherings. And she's the nicest lady, and she makes such quality ingredients. Quality products with quality ingredients in our local area. So now I've got like a half a cup of delicious spray. I'm gonna spray it now just to see how it smells. Oh. Yep. The scent profiles were so close together that you can't even totally tell that they're mixed. Okay, so now we have a bottle. It's glass, but it's covered in sticker gunk. I can put in the recycle box. So I'm gonna just peel all the stickers off. I'm gonna pause the video while I do that. Okay, so that one can be, the glass can be recycled. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Ooh, yeah, so this is one that another one of those items that are in here because it makes sense to me, but it's actually not a Backstock item. I only have these. They do not expire, because of what they are. They're, I'm going to keep them here. I was trying to think if they would be better, in my hall closet. But I use these when I use some of, my things at my beauty altar. And so I'm going to just keep them here, and I'll think about if I'm going to put them somewhere else. Okay. These, let me just smell them to make sure. Yeah. These are my leftover snow water, again, for my beauty altar. So, I just have a couple left. This is almost completely gone. This would be one of those things that, again, came from my Florida box that my sunscreen came from. I'm actually gonna go put this in my husband's box. I'm gonna pause this again. So these are, anointing oils, and I already have one of one at a time. I don't have one of each scent. I just use one at a time. I have those at my beauty altar, and so again, it makes sense to me to keep the extras in here versus like where my essential oils are at, because like I said, when I'm done with it, I just pull out this basket and replace it. So that's why a lot of these are just like extras that you would see in my beauty altar. Now those are wonderful, and they're made by the same lady who makes the Florida water, so it smells wonderful. So I'm looking at these items. A lot of them are rather small, and I don't have extra little organizational buckets around, but because I've used them. Sometimes I'll have like an extra one here or there if I'm like doing other decluttering, but right now a lot of things have been pretty set, other than some of the purging that I've done of some, like I said, like there's certain things that, like I've purged some of my clothes and I've purged some of my kitchen items during that big wave of purging. So what I will do is for the next couple of weeks or so, kind of be on the lookout for like, really good box lids are great for this type of storage. So right now they're going to go in my bucket because, I can just grab them and go. If I feel like I said, if I can find some little lids or something to put in the bottom of this basket, it might help with keeping things from like the smaller things from rolling around. So it's like, again, if I see them, I'm, like when I'm restocking the things that are out. But okay. So, just to recap, I'm going to put our everyday like household sprays. That's the extra. This is summer. And like I said, it's half gone. So when it's completely gone, I will probably just keep the rainwater because we all like that scent. It's a hit or miss if the guys in my house enjoy the rose scent or not. The Cheeky Botanica, totally keeping. Love this stuff. This again is the redwood oil, and it's kind of like a multi-purpose for me. It goes well with lots of things. These are Backstock for the things that are on my beauty altar, and again, I use this all the time. This is a forest green mist, and if I remember right, yeah, oh, it smells so good. But we've been making kind of like a hodgepodge of scents, and now let's do a pepperminty. There's Florida water in here, which has got like a wonderful kind of sagey smell, like orange and clove. This is like a peppermint kind of going on. So now we're going to have pine trees, peppermint, sage, orange, and to me that just sounds like my car is going to smell absolutely beautiful. So got another bottle down. Okay, so this is going in my car, and now, you know what, I've got several months of delicious car smell. And yeah, we're the sage mist. You know what? This was, I love this forest green smell, but this bottle is completely full, and I'm keeping that separate because, this is my extra lip tint. And I know I said I have a lip gloss and a signature lipstick. This is the lip tint that I have at my beauty altar. I have one jar of it. It's in a beautiful little pot. This is like the extra one. It's the same shade, and this is like heavenly bright. I just take a little dot of it and it lasts forever. But it's made by the same person, and it's actually called Cottage Witch Forest Fairy. And it's just absolutely just lovely. I love this. You can just tell that the person who made those products just loves their craft. And it's just made, when you put it on, you feel like a divine warrior goddess. And I just love it. Okay. Extra snow water and my extra hair oil, which my hair oil is almost gone, so I'm glad that to be reminded that that's there. Extra nose pins, which if you've got nose jewelry, you know, like those fall out. Like I said, these are for my right side. Like I said in the past, these would not have fit in my left side, but now I can wear those too. And I use the ball studs every day. These are for when I'm like just wanting an extra sparkle. And so that's why there's so many of them in here. They are different sizes, and I like that too, because sometimes I like to conceal that sparkle, and other times it's like loud and proud. So, you know, I'm happy that my donation side is, you know, and this is just less messy. Again, my sunscreen in the summer, when we actually have sun, this will go back out in where the family can use it. I think my son has his own bottle that he monitors, but my husband, when he chooses to protect himself, he can use that. Okay. My extra perfume bottles will be going in my perfume storage in my closet. When I do, so I have my scent so I have my scent that I make, my signature kind of like fragrance. And then that's more of like a mystical, earthy kind of smell. But then I have my perfume, and I have one perfume that I wear all the time. I've worn it since I was like 15 or 14. It is Princess by Vera Wang, and there was a time that I couldn't find it, and I think that maybe it was going out of stock, or maybe they was getting pulled, I'm not sure. And my husband bought me so many boxes that I have them all in the bottom of my closet storage, and that is why, like I said, I have a perfume box. This is something that I layer, can layer with it. It doesn't last very long. This one. The scent does not last very long, but it's warm and it's at my beauty altar. So I'm going to put those with those other bottles. The other scent that I wear all the time, which again, I know this video is already long, but you know, I love experiencing the world through scent, and scent, not everybody is like that, but scents are sacred to me. And anyway, so my other one is when I'm wanting to just be a little bit more classic, more I don't know another way to describe that, is Red Door. And it actually came out, I think, in 1989. And it is such a fragrant floral smell, and I actually miss the original version. They did change it, and so many people are begging for it to come back. It is like an old, I'm not trying to be judgmental by saying it. It is like an older lady smell, but it also is very, like I said, classic and refined, and it mingles very well with the Princess Vera Wang, or and you know, perfumes are sacred. They mesh with the different you know, different body chemistries, and those are just ones that, like, you know what, if people smell those smells together, they're gonna be like, that's Grace, because that's what I smell like. You know, I've worn them all this time, and I've smelled other smells, and in terms of fragrances and different perfumes, and I gravitate towards those every time. So I feel homey to me. They feel like an extra layer of myself, and I do feel kind of forlorn when you know, if I ever forget to put it on. And sometimes I intentionally don't put it on because there are a couple of people in my circle that are sensitive to smell, and so I will extra scrub myself and be mindful of that for that reason. And they know that if they smell it on me, it's because it's either my in my fabrics of my clothing, or something in you know, it's not that I wasn't being mindful around them. And so anyway, so those are my signature scents, and I'm sure you'll hear me talk about that every once in a while, because I love them. They bring me joy. Anyway, okay. So these are going back in here. Gotta concentrate. I do have, you know what? I just now noticed this. I have one eyeshadow stick, and I did not put this back in my. Yeah, that's still pretty. Okay, I use this all, and I did not realize I had an extra one. I will not be replacing this after this is gone. I just don't use it as much as my other shades, but I liked to use this as a highlighter underneath my eyebrow, and so I will use this. But like I said, once it's gone, I'm not going to replace it. Just because it's just an extra thing, and it's an extra step that's not necessary that I can do. I could do the same thing with this shade. And so, you know, I don't need the extra product. So I've got my eyeliner, I've got my 2 makeup. This is going in my makeup box along with this. And then I did also finish a whole entire tube of lipstick during the month. I didn't, sorry, I'm going to correct myself. I did not use an entire tube of lipstick during 30 days. I finished my tube of mint lipstick during this last month. And so I'm going to also put this in my makeup, because I've been kind of just stuck using this. And like I said, this is my everyday. So now there's only one more of these still within the packaging that's going in my Backstock bucket. So I'm going to kind of put it over by the makeup along with this, because I still have one of those. And then my fragrance that I make myself for my beauty altar, that's gonna go there. I'm trying to think if there's a better place for these, but this is my extra watch parts, and like I said, it makes sense to go in my Backstock bucket, because like I said, that's where I put my extra nose pins and things like that. I was trying to think, should I put it with like my I have like a little teeny tiny box of jewelry, and I'm going to say no, because it just takes up too much space. So that's why it goes in the Backstock bucket. Out of sight, not necessarily out of mind, but you know, I know it's there. So and then what started this little cleaning trail are putting these away. So, you know, we're just learning more and more and about me as we go along here. And it doesn't hurt to take up some time doing this because I was going to do it anyway. So might as well bring you along, right? And then these three, we're going to go in there too. And that be that. And I mean, I'm starting with how this looked. It looks a lot better. These are going to go in my bathroom. And this is probably going to go in my car bag. And I will explain that in a moment, but probably on a separate video because we've been doing this for an hour and, you know, yeah, I mean, I hope you can maybe watch this while you are maybe tidying a little area in your life, or just, you know, if you need a little companion while you're doing something else special for yourself. Otherwise, you know, I just thank you for coming along with me, and I'm gonna be more transparent with things and holding myself present. And I am not gonna sit and microcomb through this. And, you know I stuttered a couple of times. I'm like, I know probably have been short of breath here or there or whatever, but I've been mindful of my words and as much as I could be, to hold myself to my authentic self. And I'm proud of myself for doing this. I hope this is the start of being able to put more content on there that is not so filtered. And what I mean by that is, like, I'd sit and microcomb through what I said so much based on what another person may see it as. Like I said, like, my mind is still kind of focusing on the first few minutes when I watched my other video, the first part of this video. And I'm like, no, Grace, stop doing that. If people want to judge, let them judge. The content, the me, that's there. And I just don't, like I said, I'm just not going to do that and then not post it. I'm going to post this. And, if people want to judge, let them. I'm just going to move forward. Okay. So I appreciate your presence wherever you are, whenever you are, and I hope this inspires whatever it needs to inspire. Much warmth to you if you're willing to receive, and thank you.